everybody, welcome to Nintendo Expansion Pass here on Boss Rush Games. I'm your host and enlightening excited ADV. Joining me is the one, the only Bossman himself, Mr. Corey Dirrig. Hello, good sir.
Hello, Edward.
Wow.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. We're coming off like an almost 3-hour episode of Pow Blocks. So.
Well, guys, we have some updates for you about Expansion Pass. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over into your hands, Corey, to explain how Expansion Pass kind of going to be going on moving forward in the future.
Yeah, so on the next episode on episode 357 of Nintendo Pow Block, if you're a patron, you're going to hear this before that episode. If you are not a patron, you'll hear it soon, maybe. But basically what we're doing with Expansion Pass is we want to have more quality episodes and more interesting evergreen type episodes, because we do realize that a couple episodes that have gone out over the last couple months have been kind of irrelevant based on information that had come out after we recorded the episode, but they were scheduled later. And we're also gonna have more quality episodes. We're actually going to cut the release schedule in half. So we're going to put out 2 episodes of Expansion Pass a month instead of 4 or even 5 if the weeks fall the way they fall. We're also trying to make sure that we are not killing ourselves trying to get content out, because I mean, Ed and I sometimes record at like 11 o'clock at night to try to get content out. And obviously if you're tired and after we've worked all day or recorded more episodes or whatever, like, if you're tired, it shows, right? I mean, not putting out a good product is maybe worse than not putting out a product at all. So we want to make sure that stuff is taken care of and high quality, and maybe longer episodes, since we're not putting out more, since we're not putting out 4 or 5 episodes a month, we're just putting out 2. Maybe we'll do a little bit longer episodes of Expansion Pass to kind of maybe make up for it a little bit. But we're also moving Expansion Pass back to Sundays, and it'll be 2-week early access on Patreon. So the first and third Sunday of every month will be Expansion Pass for everyone. 2-week early access for patrons. And they will still pop up on the Nintendo Pow Block podcast feed and YouTube, stuff like that. And until we can kind of figure out our schedules and everything, we're going to do that. 2 episodes a month instead of 4 or 5. 2-week early access. Moving back to Sundays. Yeah. And, Ed and I are actually going to talk about some of the stuff that we want to do, and then we'll just probably BS for 30 minutes or whatever. One of the ideas that Ed and I had to do was watch video game movies and kind of rank them, and maybe we do that once a month. Like because obviously the Mario movie came out recently and we both watched it. With various opinions on that, but I thought it would be really fun, or we thought it would be really fun to go back to stuff like The Wizard and the original Super Mario Brothers movie and Street Fighter and movies like that.
I actually have the list. So
name off some of the games on the list, and like there could be more movies after this initial list. Like, but I think are we going to try to rank these? I think it would be fun to try to rank these.
Well, okay, so we have The Wizard, the original Super Mario Brothers movie, the original Mortal Kombat, and the Mortal Kombat reboot is the plan. Street Fighter the movie, Street Fighter 2 the animated movie, Tomb Raider 1, Tomb Raider 2, the old ones, not the latest Tomb Raider, Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 2, Silent Hill, Monster Hunter, Doom, Sonic 1 and Sonic 2, Detective Pikachu, Blood Rain, Hitman, Assassin's Creed, Prince of Persia, Tetris, Need for Speed, Rampage, Max Payne, Final Fantasy Spirits Within, Angry Birds 1 and 2, the Halo movie, Red Faction's Origins, Ratchet and Clank, Far Cry, Dead or Alive, and Tomb Raider. We did decide to do the Tomb Raider reboot and stuff. So
Man,
we
that
had 33 movies
yeah.
planned.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, obviously that's going to take a while to rank them all, and as more come out, like we'll do that. But that list has been really exciting for us, like all summer, and we just haven't had a chance to do it because we've been so busy. But like, this is it. This
Mhm.
is the time to strike, Ed. Whoopsh.
Right. And
So,
which one did you want to start off? I know we said Super Mario Brothers
I
was the
mean,
first one because I've never seen it.
I think it's either got to be Super Mario Brothers or The Wizard because I've never seen The Wizard, and
I
you've never
think the
seen Super
Wizard,
Mario.
right? I think the Wizard would be a good one to start off with.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the quintessential first video game movie, right? I mean, I think that's what everybody thinks of. Um,
Because
and
California, it's like it's so iconic as a saying.
I believe you. I don't know at all.
I'm surprised that you don't know about it. It's ever since that movie came out, it's been part of uh Nintendo, even though it's not related to Nintendo, it has become a iconic saying in movie history and for video games, when it comes to video game movies and
hmm
stuff.
Yeah. I think. I mean, I think that's going to be a really interesting one. I've wanted to watch that movie for a long time, and I just never
Mhm.
have seen it.
I
Obviously, it's iconic because it was like the North American reveal of Mario Brothers 3, right? I mean, that was the
yes,
big thing.
yes. I'm excited for you to see Street Fighter 2, the animated movie.
Oh gosh.
Yes. The Chun-Li fight, I think you're gonna be like, I get it. I get it. And
Uh,
everything.
Speaking of getting it, have you seen that? Have you seen the Chun Li wedding statue that's like $700? Oh my
No.
gosh, dude!
What?
Talk about a $700 thirst trap for someone. Oh my gosh.
Very busty?
Oh, dude, I'll find an image of it and send it to you. It's like, oh my gosh, it's so. Man, it's. Let's just say it's an interesting pose
Piece of work.
here. I don't know what this website is, but hopefully it doesn't crash anything. But yeah, just scroll through the pictures of this Chun-Li wedding statue, and you'll see. There's also like a black dress, quote unquote, sexy version of it, which is like $1,000 because it's a limited edition. Uh, but yeah, it's an
It's
interesting statue.
not bad.
I mean, I mean, it's it's definitely
I mean,
meant
she got some.
for someone, right? I mean,
I mean, she got some thighs on that mug. That's
well,
for
I mean,
sure.
Chun-Li's always had that though, right? I mean, that's kind of been her
I
thing.
know, but I'm just like, shoot, these are some second power Ultra Beast thighs. I'm like,
I don't know why that was so funny. I'm dying here. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to see the Street Fighter movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme as
oh, and
Guile.
Kylie Minogue as
Oh man.
um
Cammy? No?
Cammy, yes.
Yeah. Man, Kylie Minogue, man. In 90s Corey was obsessed with Kylie Minogue.
uh so yeah, the Street Fighter the movie, they also had that Galloping Ghost. I didn't say that in for Pop Lock because I went there for some arcade games. They had a cabinet, Street Fighter the movie, the game,
Mhm.
which I originally played on PlayStation 1. I'm
What
like,
a
oh
title,
wow.
man.
Yeah. Uh, so that one is Mortal Kombat is going to be a fun ride for you too. It's very popcorn, uh, very popcornish, I should say. Very camp.
Yeah.
Um, Silent Hill might put you to sleep though. So,
I
um,
mean, oh gosh, Silent Hill. I don't know if I want to watch a
it's
scary movie. It's fine.
it's not really, to tell you the truth, it's not really scary. It's
Mm,
just a little bit slow, I should
yeah.
say. Now, Assassin's Creed, I might fall asleep on Prince of Prussia because I tried to watch
Dude.
that with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh man.
Me and my friend who was he was in the hospital. I had that movie with me so that we could watch. We didn't make it past the first 10 minutes. We was dead asleep.
Oh man, dude, that movie's great. I love that movie.
Ooh,
I really
that
liked the
movie was
Assassin's Creed movie too, but
that one I didn't that one I didn't see, but
I mean
Hitman was really good. I really love
the
Hitman.
Timothy Oliphant one.
Yes, that
Yeah.
one was really good, and Hitman 2 was also good, too. But the first one, yeah, that mug was very action packed.
Yeah.
It felt very French of a movie and
French
stuff.
movie. Oh man. Man, the Tomb Raider movies too. I like those movies too. I really like the first one a lot.
So I had to rewatch those because I know I seen both of them, but I forgot a lot about that movie. So rewatching 1 and 2 would definitely help me re-jog my memory. I remember going to the movie theaters to go see
Mhm.
uh Tomb Raider 1 and 2. Just good popcorn fun, and I as when it came out, I had no one to really talk to about it. So that would be a
I
good one.
I remember seeing the poster for the second one and
Uh
remembering that something about that movie seemed larger, and I'm not talking about the set pieces. um,
the let's say the character's top half of the body.
the assets of the character.
Yes. And we're
Oh
not
man.
talking about the lips.
Remember when the PS1 version of Lara Croft was in Maxim?
Oh yeah. It was in Maxim and
Oh,
Playboy.
yeah. That was interesting. Anyways,
Uh,
enough of that. Man, we're not even 15 minutes into this episode and we've already had two adult references in this episode. This is not After Dark. Man.
yeah, but like Need for Speed I haven't seen, so that would be a good one to watch.
Yeah, I haven't seen
Um
it either.
I didn't watch Tetris. Doom and Rampage I haven't seen. I know about Max Payne, but I didn't see. I caught the tail end of it, but I haven't watched it from the beginning. Somebody was watching it and they turned to a channel and it was on, and that's how I caught the end with it.
Hmm.
Um, Final Fantasy Spirits Within, I do own. It's just that I just gotta kind of rewatch it again because I kind of just wanted to see it. You know, I had seen it in the movie theaters, and it's just like, you know what? I think I was planning to do an optional opinion on it, and it had been a long time since I seen that movie because, like, it came up and people were just like not trashing it, but was talking about it was just a odd movie,
Hmm.
for what it for a Final Fantasy game,
Yeah.
was.
Well, they almost like bankrupt the company with that movie because it cost so much to make and then they didn't
Mm-hmm.
make any money back.
Yeah, to close that studio down.
Yeah.
Um, Dead or Alive is going to be kind of interesting. Far Cry will be interesting because I never seen those.
There's
Ratchet and Clank is going to be a weird one because also fell asleep on that one on Netflix.
oh man, that's interesting.
You know,
I've
because I don't know if it's me that I get too relaxed and I'm tired, or something about that movie is not catching my interest, and I just end up falling asleep.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean the movies on this list, right? I mean, there's a lot of them I haven't seen because they're just I just I wasn't interested, or like
Mm,
I just never I just never like had was I mean, I was an only child and didn't have many friends, and my I never had anybody that would like show me this stuff. Like it's reasons why I never watched like Alien or Terminator or all these classic quote unquote nerd culture movies that everybody loves, right? I mean, my
mm,
obsession was Ninja Turtles, right? I mean, that was like my obsession. That and like a couple years later was Power Rangers. I never was I didn't even know what Street Fighter was until I went over to my friend's house and he had a Super Nintendo, right? And we played that a little bit, right? Like I just didn't know about these things unless it was in Nintendo Power, right? Like I didn't know about a lot of this stuff. And like when movies would come out, like I didn't know about any of this stuff, So it's going to be exciting to go back and kind of see what I missed growing up, and I'm especially everybody says the Mortal Kombat movie is like the best video game movie ever made, and like I'm
mm.
questioning that a little bit, a little bit. And again, I wonder if it's like a lot of nostalgia factor or like obviously Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter were huge in the 90s, and Street Fighter 2 and obviously the Mortal Kombat trilogy, and obviously the movies that were from those would probably be pretty big too because of just the obsession with those games at the arcades, right? And I want to see how those games were translated, and obviously like the new Mortal Kombat movie, I haven't watched it, right? But I think people kind of really liked that movie too in some respect, and I
Yes.
I want to know. I kind of want to watch that too at some point. Um, but we'll see. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah. The video game movies, some were. It was about the camp factor of it.
Hmm.
Even though the Wizard was more of a advertising for Nintendo games, it's not a camp movie like Mortal Kombat. But then you got stuff like Uwe Boll, who really damaged video game movie adaptations for people who wanted to watch it because he was just treating it as a money grab. It's like these movies are not good and stuff. And so it just really felt like he was treating them as poor representations of what a good video game movie could be. And he just didn't care or even do the research. Because I'm like, first of all, he was not to a lot of us. We felt like he wasn't a gamer at all
Hmm.
and stuff. But he was making video game movies have uh a bad reputation. So it didn't take a while until people stop working with them to make video game movies and everything. Like I think Blood Rain was his last. He might have some more, but it was just like we knew that a video game movie was coming out. If we seen Uwe Boll's name on it, we weren't going to see it because we knew it was going to be garbage.
Hmm. Yeah.
But like if there was something that was coming out, whether it was like animated, like Tekken has an anime, Fatal Fury has an anime and stuff. We we will we will watch it because it was from Japan where the games are made. So we were expecting that these are going to be good. Tekken also has a real life movie, also, and a real life adaptation also.
Yeah.
Um, and so we'll check stuff like that out to see if it's going to be good or not. And if it's like even mediocre or decent, at least it was something better than what Ubi Ball would have did with,
Hmm.
you know. And a
Yeah.
lot of it, because I think a lot at a time, like a lot of video game movies weren't coming in. They were coming to the theater. They may have been there for like maybe a week or two, and then next thing you know, they were making their money during rentals or maybe do DVDs and VHS purchases.
Yeah, man. Let me tell you what, man. Video game movies come a long way.
I
Come a long
think,
way.
yeah, I think that's why Final Fantasy VII Advent Children is highly regarded as a great, movie. Um, and then the Final Fantasy one for Final Fantasy 15 movie was a good one too. It was an okay one
Mm-hmm.
and stuff.
Yeah. Well, so that's one of the plans. These video game movies.
Hmm.
We're also gonna kind of do more evergreen topics, right? Like lists of I don't know how we're gonna. I mean, we've discussed like lists of like and actually this came up on an episode of IGN's Game Scoop the other day, and I was kind of enthralled with the idea of they did a list of top 3 RPGs. I can't remember if it was just on Nintendo consoles or if it was per generation. But they
I
did a
think
lot
it's
of
on
Nintendo
every
consoles.
console.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I think that would be really interesting to do. Not necessarily just RPGs, although that would be an interesting discussion for us to have, I think. But like really dive into like some of these older consoles or even like Sega consoles or Turbo Graphics or some of these other consoles that like have great games and kind of make lists for those. I mean, we've done it before,
Mhm.
but I don't think it would hurt to revisit them like way down the road. Also like more interesting discussions about retro consoles I think would be fun. I really like the Dreamcast and the GameCube episodes that we did. I would really like to dive into other consoles, or handhelds. Um
Mhm.
or tell like really meaningful video game stories. I think that would be really fun. Um, I don't know. Do you have any other ideas for this, Ed? I mean, we've kind of. I mean, I've kind of said a lot.
But I think like with the with kind of like with the rank, not ranking, but like the top three of something of like games for certain consoles. I think that would be really good for us to explore because I'm like personally I think it's gonna be three for each of us. So you kind of give like 6 games and stuff. Um, it would probably be interesting to go beyond what everybody's expecting. Like if we do what was the top games for Nintendo, where everybody would probably say it's gonna be Super Mario Brothers. It's gonna be The Legend of Zelda. And then it may be some other game and stuff. But I'm like, there was more of it. Contra was a big one. The Mega Man 2 was a big one. Even though 3 is great, like Mega Man 2 was the highlight of that game. Um and then you kind of got like stuff like Excite Bike, where you can make your own track and stuff. Like who put a game in where you can make your own racing game and
Hmm.
stuff. There's a lot on Nintendo just itself to talk about, and I think it's going to be for us our history with that game and what it did for us personally,
Yeah.
um, and stuff.
Spe- Speaking of making your
Go
own
ahead.
racing game, wouldn't that be really interesting if Mario Kart 9 had a course maker?
Ugh.
Wouldn't that be?
Did they
I
give?
mean, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, that's a dream that everybody wants.
Yeah, I just I'm want like the thing that the like Little Big Planet had a kart racing game, right, where you can make your own levels, and then what was the other one for PlayStation? Mod Nation Racers, right?
Hmm.
That those games were so interesting in terms of like just the way you could kind of make levels, and I mean, with the success of Mario Maker, right, and I think that would be really interesting to do, honestly, for Mario Kart. I think that would, I mean, we always talk about like what are they going to do for Mario Kart 9? Like, do they add characters? Do they obviously they create new courses, but like add new characters, add new mechanics? Like, what new mechanics do you add? I mean, the gravity stuff is really interesting. I think adding a course maker would be really interesting for Mario Kart,
Oh yeah,
especially with the success of like stuff like Mario Maker and stuff, right? Like that would be super interesting.
and playing different creators tracks from around the world, what I think would be so like amazing, and the replay would definitely be high and
Mhm.
stuff. But I'm like, man, I would love to play a track from Japan, from a Japanese maker, or someone from Europe. But maybe there's someone that's in Brazil who somehow got this game able to make a track, or someone in Poland got this game to make a track. Like, I would love to see what people in different countries can do with making a track, because I'm like, Mario Maker proves that there are some great level designers out there,
Mhm.
and I really feel like they could do the same thing with a Mario Kart 9.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I I really wonder if, not to get off topic or anything, but I really wonder if the next console is gonna somewhere in the launch window is gonna be a Mario Kart game. It really seems more likely now than ever.
I think so, yeah. I think the second year, first or second year, we see
Man,
the
I'm
good
talking
launch.
like within 2 or 3 months of the console being out.
Um, Depending on this release, maybe not.
I mean,
Uh,
I don't know. I mean, I feel like that would be a game you would want to put out at a holiday, right? And
yeah.
obviously, you don't want to take away from the new Mario game, right? That's clearly going to be launched with the console. Uh, but I think with the sales numbers of Mario Kart 8, you definitely want to get Mario Kart out on that console as soon as possible,
Hmm.
in my opinion. So I don't know. Well, we'll see. I mean, the other big question is, what do you do with the next Smash Brothers? Also, you know, um, do you just carry over Smash Ultimate if the console is backwards compatible and just do more fighter uh passes, like add more characters and new levels? Because like, I mean, seriously, what do you do with Smash Brothers now?
Well, it'll be under a new director.
I mean, maybe. I mean, I do
So under
know
a new,
I
okay.
do know that Super Smash Brothers Ultimate is not called Ultimate in Japan. It's called I forget what it's called, but it's not called Ultimate. Um, I gotta look it up. But I heard that on a podcast the other day, and I'm wondering like what the big draw will be for Smash Brothers
I think
Ultimate.
definitely more characters from different Japanese developers. Um, Maybe some fighters from, well, not so much from Taiwan. I was gonna say that, but I think
Yeah.
more characters from a lot of games.
Hmm.
We will see.
Yeah. It's called Super Smash Brothers Special in Japan.
Okay.
And I think they're going to go off of the Japanese names and not the United States names. No offense to U.S. or Western audiences, but I think they're going to go off the special name and whatever the next game is. I almost wonder, man, that's so tough to do, right? I mean, Nintendo's made so many great like quote unquote ultimate and deluxe versions of their games that like
Hmm.
how do you top? I mean, how do you top Mario Kart 8 with the new battle system and all the DLC? How do you top Smash Brothers with all the characters and DLC, right? Like how do you top like some of these other games that they put out, you know? Like Splatoon 3, like I understand that it's getting DLC, but like that should be a game as a service. Splatoon should be like a Fortnite style game as a service. Mario Kart should be a Fortnite style game as a service. Smash Brothers should also be that way. And maybe you just give these characters new costumes and like whatever, but man, that would be super interesting to see what Nintendo's quote unquote game as a service would look like.
I think they're not interested in that
Oh, I know, but I mean, it would be really
of a
interesting to think about.
business.
I mean, their mobile games are games as a service. Mario Kart Tour is totally doing that, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, I
And
understand
Fire
that.
Emblem,
Like,
like, totally doing that.
yeah, I understand the mobile business is different than their console business,
I know.
but I think like the games as a service thing is has kind of went downhill in a sense
I mean,
of acceptance. Like,
I mean, there just needs to be a new game. I mean, I know Destiny's numbers are down a little bit. I mean, partially because the expansion was kind of not great.
even
But
even with their numbers down, Destiny is probably the most successful games as a service title out there.
I mean, I
You
would
know,
say that and Fortnite and Minecraft would be the three you point to, right? I mean, Apex's
mhm.
numbers are down. I mean, nobody's thought about PUBG in like I don't know 3 or 4 years at
Fortnite.
least. um, uh, Sea of Thieves for Microsoft is actually pretty decent. Halo Infinite's on an upward trajectory. Actually, like their season pass this is actually really good. They've been dropping classic maps. They've put out 2 new maps. I think Halo Infinite's actually in a pretty decent place right now.
Hmm.
But I mean, other than that, like I mean, Disney Dreamlight Valley, I don't know what the numbers are, but they're actually doing a pretty decent job with their game as a service model, unlike their garbage racing game, Disney Speedstorm. Oh my
That
gosh,
came
that
and
game was
went
so
quickly.
disappointing, man. Dude, that game was so disappointing. I was so mad. Can't believe I spent money on that game. Gross. Dude, that game ran like garbage on the Switch. Like it was running at like sub 15 frames a second in some spots. Ugh, gross.
That's just wow.
So, I mean, yeah, I would. I don't know. I don't know. What should we talk about now? What are we?
So
Where are we
Corey,
at now?
I so as an idea and
Yes, ideas.
like the
That's where we
idea
were at.
that you took from game school, I it just hit me. Uh, there's a forgive my language, everybody.
Uh
There's a
oh.
podcast. There's a podcast called Movie Bitches, and
Ah, he said it.
and they review like movies and everything, and they're doing like now they're doing like a summer camp, like reviewing movies that are camp and a certain with a Rotten Tomato score. They got to meet like a kind of score number, and if like these movies are forgotten. And last week or one of the weeks they did this celebrity's name. I love your work. So I think I kind of want to steal that to be like Shigeru Miyamoto. I love your work, and we just talk about the work of that creator has,
Hmm.
or Cliff Brzezinski. I love your work, and we just talk about that game or whatever. Definitely for Nintendo because they just a lot of the games has a big history, and it would be cool to dig into a lot of the developers at Nintendo and what they helped create. Whether
Hmm.
it's their music, whether it's characters designs that they did and stuff. Like, I would really love to dive into different creators and the work that they put out that we love.
Hmm.
You know, I think
Yeah.
that would be a cool one.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. I would also like to one of the things I would really like to see is something I would like to talk about too is like how would we improve Nintendo's, not necessarily their games, because their games are always like top tier, right? Like I
Mhm.
don't want to do that. I would like to see how we can improve, like what features would we like to see on the next console, or like how would we improve their online stuff, or does Nintendo need their online stuff to be competitive next gen, or stuff like that. I think that would be really interesting. I also would like to talk about like accessories, how we would like improve their accessories, maybe like the Pro controller having a decent D-pad next gen, or like I don't know, a headphone jack, or a way we can talk to our friends, not through the phone app or whatever. Um,
I the accessibility controller from Xbox, I definitely would love to see Nintendo incorporate that in their
yeah,
next platform,
yeah, that'd be interesting.
next console and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, because it's it's very hard to talk about that stuff when you have a company that is main stay is in Japan,
Yeah.
and they think about more of what can we do with what we have in Japan, and will that work outside of Japan? Universal,
Uh-huh.
you
Yeah,
know.
I think it would be like, I mean, Nintendo's always going to be Japan first, right? I mean,
Yes.
they are like one of the last companies. I mean, we've said this before, but we've seen PlayStation kind of move all their stuff to um Western audiences. Like the whole PlayStation unit is based in the UK now, right? And
Yeah.
Jim Ryan, obviously not a Japanese man, right? So uh him being in charge has kind of steered the company in a certain way. And I wonder how Nintendo's Japan focused efforts are affecting them either positively or negatively. I think that would be an interesting topic, if we like found research or hypotheticals or whatever.
That's very interesting. That you bring up Jim Ryan, because I was while we was recording our latest Nintendo Pablo, he came into my. We were talking about Major Nelson visiting Nintendo, and just visiting. We had a discussion about that, and it really shows that from PlayStation's perspective, from the community, uh they like all their past people who were representing PlayStation, who was like, at E3s and stuff, I think what Ken Kuda was it Ken Kudaragi? Uh
I don't remember.
yeah, I have to look up who's the one that everybody really loves? Not
Like the Kazumi. Is that who we're talking about?
Kazumi had an up and down one, but okay, let's look at the PlayStation. Uh,
Uh, Kazurai. Ed's looking stuff up. I'm making Ed very tired by making him do a second podcast tonight.
no, already. Um, Shuhei.
Oh, Shuhei Yoshida.
That's yeah.
Oh,
Like he was the face of PlayStation,
oh yeah.
and still to this very day, he gets love across the board. Like I don't care if you're a PlayStation fan, if you're a Nintendo fan, or an Xbox fan, or even PC. Shuhei got love because there was something about him um that wasn't polarizing, that wasn't offensive, or he had the love of games, but mostly PlayStation because that's who what he represented. And there were just some positive. There's just something positive about him
Hmm.
and everything. Like I give Shuhei his props for what he did for PlayStation and what he sometimes still do for PlayStation. You know,
Yeah, he kind of got the
I
raw end of the deal. I feel like. I
hmm
mean, I know he's still like I know he's head of like the indie stuff and like but I just feel like Shuhei was like there. I don't know. He like you said, he was like the face of PlayStation for a long time and like so outgoing and like part of the conversation and out there doing interviews and stuff. And then like when
yeah.
Sean Layden left, right? Like I mean, really feel like he got kind of screwed over in a sense. And it's
And
sad
that
to
one was
see
very that was really weird on why he left.
who
Cause
Sean
like
Layden. Oh
yeah,
yeah, I know.
yeah, because I'm like you were on top of things. Like PlayStation 4 was running things.
Hmm. Yeah, and he definitely made the I think he made PlayStation better in terms of like fan visibility and like
Mm-hmm.
acknowledging small single player experiences, right? Like what was the quote? He said something like he was talking about Vib Ribbon at one of the conferences, right? Where like he knows the game's not going to sell a million copies, but it doesn't matter because a good game is a good game and PlayStation should support all great games no matter, how much it sells or whatever. And like I really respected Sean Layden um for that. And it's really nice to hear that from an executive that you don't hear that. I mean, we're kind of seeing that with Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond and the Xbox team right now, right? Where they're like really championing indies and bringing them to Game Pass and really highlighting top tier ones that, don't skip the platform. And uh, but Sean Layden was really kind of like one of the first people to do that. Remember, PlayStation 4 was like really championing indies for a long time.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I really thought he was like one of the best executives PlayStation maybe ever had. I mean, look how many
But
great high quality first person experiences that and new IP that he brought to PlayStation, right? And allowed the teams to be creative. I mean, he
mm,
could have very well made someone like Sucker Punch do another Infamous game or uh the Insomniac make more Ratchet and Clank instead of like experimenting with certain titles and stuff. I mean, I know Insomniac wasn't purchased during that era, but
yeah.
like it's he was a really interesting executive, and I kind of miss that era of PlayStation, to be honest. I think Jim Ryan's PlayStation is all about making money, high, AAA titles with a game as a service focus. I mean, they have something like 10 or 12 game as a service in development, and that's, I mean, uh, it's, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
But because like Sean Layden, I think he got grilled when it was PlayStation 3 when that came out. I'm you know
Well,
that and
he wasn't the top executive at that point, right? And Japan was still very much in control of PlayStation when the PlayStation 3 came out.
yeah, but I think he talked to Shu and EGN. I remember that cover because it was the original PlayStation 3 that had a tomato thrown on it
Hmm.
and everything. And I remember that was like a real brutal interview
Hmm.
that I think he had to do or one of them had to do at PlayStation. It was just like seeing how PlayStation 4 came in and turned everything around. Because like at that time, I don't I I don't know if Phil Spencer was on top of 360.
No,
Uh,
I think he was still like part of first party development at that point.
because he had to turn. Because I think when Xbox One came, that's when he had to turn stuff around.
Yeah,
But
I
like
mean, Don
we,
Matrick really like screwed up that launch. I mean, it wasn't all him, right? It was definitely like a
Mhm.
team executive decision, but he was like he's the face of it, so he's going to get the brunt of it, right? And when he left Microsoft, he went to Zynga and really screwed them up too, almost put them into bankruptcy. Uh,
Yikes.
and like you have to give it to Phil Spencer and his team, right? Of really turning that
Hmm.
ship around. I mean, a company like Microsoft, it takes a long time to turn that ship. And the fact that he did it and Satya Nadella like allowed the Xbox brand to continue when they were thinking about selling it off or spitting it out or whatever. And Phil pitched Game Pass and trying to because Microsoft's a subscription company, right? I mean, and Xbox really pitched the subscription and it's working. I don't know if it's working as well as they want it to, but also you have to have games on the platform to sell the consoles. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, Xbox has a ton of great games, but they're smaller games, right? Like
Hmm.
Pentiment and Grounded, and Forza is a game I think a lot of people are kind of tired of unless you're a racing fan. And Starfield is really the first big major game since Halo, right? I mean, and we're starting to get them on Xbox right now, but I mean, man, that was a as an Xbox fan watching 2013 on, right? I mean, these games are few and far between, and they still kind of have been in a little, in a sense.
And this happened with Nintendo, even with the Wii U. Like Iwata, he made a pay cut so he could keep his employees.
Yeah,
Um,
and that was a very honorable move, right? I mean,
right.
you don't see companies do that. And granted, like the Wii U didn't take off the way I'm sure he wanted to, and I know he didn't get to live to see the success of the Nintendo Switch, but the
Switch.
Switch has his name all over, his legacy all over it, right? I mean,
Right.
we talk about all the time where the Switch is definitely like the pinnacle of what they wanted the Wii U to be, right? Like the console that you can take with you in handheld mode. Um, obviously a lot of the games came over, and Iwata was a powerful figure in this space, and
He,
he's still missed to this day by a lot of people.
yeah, I mean, he was, and we talked about the Nintendo Direct because he was the face of Nintendo compared to Yamauchi. Um, like he came out and presented games and he made them fun. Now, whether I don't know how people took at it and stuff, and people still had that viewpoint of Switch. I mean, not Switch of Wii U being for kids and Nintendo games being for kids and stuff. You cannot deny how his impact has been for Nintendo. Shuhei's impact has been for Sony. Phil Spencer's impact has been for Microsoft, even with Major Nelson and stuff. Now we look at Jim Ryan, and whether people love him or hate him or anything, the way he presents himself and delivers himself, it has really became a negative impact for Sony's community because they really do not like him in a
Yeah.
sense. And it's just like I don't know how all of that happened, but I think over time it's just like I think people felt like, oh, we're now seeing your true colors of how a businessman you are. You're really not a fit for PlayStation in a sense.
Hmm.
But I'm just like, look, I think he was at Gorilla Games. Um,
Um, I know who you're talking about. I just can't think of his name right now. But yeah, he was the studio head of Gorilla, and now he's head of first party. Oh man, what is his?
yeah,
Oh my gosh, this is really bothering me.
Because
I gotta look it up.
that's how he that's the person who took over after
Herman
Sean
Holst.
Layden left.
Herman Holst.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean he's great too, right? I mean, like Horizon was such a pivotal game for Guerrilla, and I mean it's well
Mm-hmm.
deserved that he got that position. But he's still working on under the rules of Jim Ryan, right? Which, I mean, the rumors are that there's uh something like 11 Horizon quote unquote projects in the works. One of them's one of them's obviously Horizon 3. One of them is, a remake or a PS5 only version of Horizon Zero Dawn. One of them's the multiplayer game, and one of them is some sort of like some people think it's a mobile game. And then you have the Netflix animated series, right? I think it's Netflix or Amazon, one of those, and then probably some comics or some books or novels or spin-offs, the VR game, maybe a sequel to the VR game, maybe not. I don't know how invested
Oh,
PlayStation seems to be in PlayStation VR these
I
days.
so I know when Ryan McCaffrey talked about PSVR 2
Hmm.
and everything, and I know he got some blowback from a lot of people, but I'm just like, he's right. I'm like, if Sony's not saying anything about it
Hmm.
or still
It's the
making it a
same.
big deal.
It's the same thing as the Vita, right?
Mm,
The Vita was in a way better position than PSVR 2, but like, they essentially like put out their first party games. They shut down 2 studios during that time, and like the Vita was like pretty much non-existent to the general public after what, a year and a half, 2 years. Like they put out Uncharted, Gravity Rush, Unit 13, which was a great game by the way, and then they put out all their first party stuff and then kind of wiped their hands of it and continued with PlayStation 4.
right.
And
And
the Vita was like a pretty good console at the time. The only problem with it was like you had to have this dumb proprietary memory cards, which cost almost more than the console if you wanted the big one.
$100, and you couldn't find it everywhere.
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
I really liked the Vita. Mine just died, so I didn't replace it because I just wasn't. I played what I wanted to play, and I just wasn't interested. But I don't know. Where were we going with that? I don't know. But yeah, PSVR, man, I think it's done. It feels like it was dead on arrival. Honestly, you could only get it online. Couldn't buy it in stores. There's no games except for Horizon and like a bunch of ports of PSVR 1 games, and
I
maybe a few
I
other smaller titles.
I remember he said there was going to be over 100 games in the first 6 months
And
of
there are,
PSVR.
but they're all they're all like ports from PSVR 1 and Oculus and all these other VR headsets. They're not like new games, which is the problem. Especially not new first party games. I know that um what's the one, the fire something, the multiplayer shooter that was really popular in PSVR 1.
Right,
They're making a
fire
sequel
chat.
to Fire
Oh,
something.
hell divers.
No, that's a
Oh,
PS. No, that's not a PSVR game. I forget what it's called. It's called like Fire something. I don't know. But the shooter is getting a sequel in a couple weeks, which I know people are excited for. But like, where what's next? Where's your deal for Half-Life? Something like Half-Life Alex. Where's your deal for something like, a PlayStation soundtrack exclusively on Beat Saber? Or
where's
where's
the
your next big
commercial
first
see?
party?
Where's the commercial so even that you know that PSVR 2 is out?
I don't know.
You
I've
know,
never seen a PSVR commercial, but also I've never seen a Starfield commercial, and that game comes out in 2 weeks. So, I mean,
true. I've
I
been
think it's
seeing more
just.
commercials for Nintendo Switch and the games and stuff. Like they're still promoting Switch and just like we got these awesome games.
Mhm.
Like that's been dropping. So
Yeah,
so I'm just like, if Nintendo was doing this, y'all should be doing something.
yeah. I don't know, man. PlayStation seems. I mean, PS5 seems to be doing all right with no games though. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I
I
know
mean,
people are gonna get mad at me for saying that, but like
I'm
PlayStation
not
5
not
doesn't
trying
have any real exclusives either, you know?
right, and I'm not trying to harp on PlayStation or even Microsoft or anything. It's just the businessmen that were the representation, because that's when it came to getting information outside of reading articles and being on the internet. When the direct start dropping and E3 was happening, those people who were presenting the stuff was the representation. Iwata was the representation for Nintendo, for modern day Nintendo. Phil Spencer became the representation after uh after the people left from Microsoft. And then, we got Jim Ryan now being a representation after, Sean Layden left, and we don't hear much from Shuhei and stuff. So it's just like the representation from those who are leading these consoles really matter and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Um, like, uh, and regardless of what we think of Nintendo and what their future is going to be, they have representation that is showing us that, you know what, Nintendo and their games are in good hands.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so,
Yeah.
but that's pretty much all I got, Corey.
Yeah, that's all I got too. I mean, we've been going for almost an hour, so uh I think I think we're there. We're done.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I want to say one last thing before we get out of here. I appreciate everybody who listens to PAL Block and Expansion Pass every week. It's the last little bit has been kind of a struggle to do things, and we with these changes, hopefully we can deliver better expansion passes and proper PAL Block episodes for everybody. So that's all I gotta say.
And for me, everybody, we want you to have a great week. Have a great weekend, and we will see you next time on Nintendo Expansion Pass. Bye, everybody.
If you want to be a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/bossrushmedia, and find out which tier is right for you. Our Patreon producers at the $5 tier or higher for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dirrig, Francisco Santillan, and Rebecca Jewell. Thank you for your continued support.
Nintendo Expansion Pass is part of Nintendo Power Block and is a product of Boss Rush Media LLC. The show is recorded from our headquarters in Akron, Ohio, and is hosted by me, Edward Varnell. My co-host is Corey Dirrig. You can find Corey at I Am Corey in HD on Twitter and Instagram, as well as hosting the Boss Rush Podcast and Tower Casuals, the Destiny Podcast. Follow Expansion Pass as part of Nintendo Power Block and on all social media platforms at Power Block Podcast. You can also follow Boss Rush Media and Boss Rush Network on all major social media platforms. Join the Boss Rush Network Discord and Facebook groups to interact with other friends and fans. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.